CPF monthly median payouts are set to keep rising after climbing 25% over the past 2 years. The Archbishop of Singapore apologizes over sex crimes by a member of a religious order. Sales of HDB resale flats rise for the 22nd straight month with no signs of slowing. Good evening, you're watching The Big Story with me, Hairianto Diman. Subscribe to the Straits Times channel so you will not miss a single episode. According to a trends report by the CPF board today, CPF monthly payouts have increased with each successive cohort, and they are set to keep rising for future cohorts. Median payouts have gone up by 25% from 2019 to 2021. Now, as the graph on the left shows, CPF members who turned 65 in 2021 get monthly payouts of $580 compared with those who turned 65 in 2019, they receive $460. The report also found that members can generally gain 30% more in their monthly payouts if they defer them to age 70. As you can see from the graph on the right, those who turned 65 in 2021 is projected to get $760 if they defer payouts to age 70. Compared with those who start payouts straight away at age 65, they receive $580. With more is business correspondent Suen Tan. Suen, help us understand how can deferring payouts to age 70 could help members receive more monthly payouts?
So now people can start their monthly payouts when they turn 65 years old. But if they defer their payouts to 70 years old, they can actually receive 30% more in payouts a month. And this is according to the CPF trend report that was out today. And this is because the CPF savings can accumulate more interest, which will help to boost their payouts when they eventually get them.
And why have the monthly payouts increased over the years? And is it expected to keep increasing for future cohorts?
So the monthly payouts have increased over the years because of increased labour force participation, growth in wages and salaries, and overall improvements made to CPF policy. And yes, the good news is it is expected to keep increasing for future cohorts, especially with new government measures in place to help people to boost their retirement adequacy. So for example, the CPF contribution rate for those who are aged 55 to 70 years old will be increased gradually, step by step, to help workers earn more and save more even after turning 55. And as we know, the retirement and re-employment ages for Singapore workers will also be progressively raised to 65 and 70 years old by 2030. So this will support the older workers who wish to continue working. And there's also the matched retirement savings scheme, which was launched last year. And this will help seniors who have not reached their basic retirement sum to build retirement savings. And under this scheme, it means that those who are eligible, aged 55 to 70 with lower balances, can receive a dollar-for-dollar matching grant when they have cash top-ups made to their CPF retirement account.
So you're talking about, people who can still continue to work. What about people, say, who have decided to stop working? What else can they do to gain higher payouts?
So the CPF report also found that payouts would be higher if members did not make a lump sum withdrawal before age 65. And this is especially important because it found that 7 in 10 members made CPF lump sum withdrawals prior to starting their payouts. So this means that from the time they turn 55 to a month before they turn 65 before the payout starts. And family members can also make top-ups to the CPF accounts of their loved ones. And when CPF members make top-ups to themselves or their loved ones, they can make use of matching grants from the government, as you mentioned earlier. And they can also enjoy tax relief up to a certain amount. And other things that seniors can do to boost their retirement income is to unlock the value of their property if they own their own home, for example. So they can make use of schemes like the lease buyback scheme or the silver housing bonus scheme. And the government also provides silver support payouts for those who had low income and now have less money in retirement.
Suen, thank you for the sharing. Business correspondent Suen Tan. Archbishop of Singapore, William Goh, has apologized to the Catholic community here over the crimes committed by a member of a religious order of the Catholic faith. Earlier today, a man was jailed for 5 years for sexual offences against 2 teenage boys. In a letter on the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Singapore website, Archbishop Goh says he is sorry for the man's offences and asks for the incident to be a wake-up call for the Catholic community here. He says, quote, "I pray that they will find healing and closure with them as a church through this pain. May justice be rendered accordingly." He assures the Catholic community that the Archdiocese takes very seriously the provision of a safe environment, especially where children and young persons are present. The Straits Times understands the man is not a priest. He pleaded guilty to 1 charge of voluntarily having carnal intercourse against the order of nature and 1 charge under the Children and Young Persons Act. 2 more charges for similar offences were considered during sentencing. Other details about the man and his victims cannot be disclosed due to a gag order, which include his designation and appointment, as well as the address of the incident location. A man caught naked on multiple video clips which went viral last year was today issued a mandatory treatment order for 2 years. Diagnosed with bipolar affective disorder, 25-year-old Yo Chi Wei will undergo treatment for his mental condition in lieu of jail time. Turning to the economy, more people were out shopping in March, with retail sales rising 8.7% from a year ago, reversing the previous month's decline of 3.5%. The figures reflect Singapore's move to simplify COVID-19 measures, followed by a further easing of restrictions. Prices for HDB resale flats edged up for the 22nd straight month in April by 1.1%, a quicker pace compared with March, with a new record set for the highest transacted price for a 4-room flat. A Pinnacle Eggleston unit resold for $1.228 million. Meanwhile, resale volume climbed by 0.2%, with an estimated 2,273 units changing hands. Now looking overseas, UK voters go to the polls today in local government elections that are seen as a test of support for Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He has come under fire for parties that were held in Downing Street during the lockdown in 2020 and sharp increases to the cost of living. In the US, the Federal Reserve delivered its biggest rate hike since 2000, pushing up interest rates by half a percentage point to bring inflation down. Chairman Jerome Powell telling Americans to expect more rate hikes ahead, but they won't be any bigger than a half-point increase. With inflation running at a 10-year high in Singapore, many families are trying to figure out how to cut costs quickly. Well, here to help us out is food correspondent Eunice Quek. Eunice, I suppose one way is to cut back on grocery shopping, but that's easier said than done.
Well, it's not easy to cut back, but you can shop smart by buying house brands from supermarkets and online platforms like RedMart. The quality is no less inferior and a wide range is available, from fresh produce to daily essentials and snacks. So we compared prices for 10 pantry staples, and many from Giant Supermarket came up the cheapest. One price-saving hack to take note of, I noticed that some of the products from the Meadows house brand are slightly cheaper at Giant than at Cold Storage. So shaving a few cents here and there can actually make quite a difference to a big basket purchase. And if you want more interesting yet affordable items, maybe go to RedMart for its innovative products and collaborations. You can get fish balls from homegrown hawker brand Fishball Story, as well as other items like Nespresso compatible coffee capsules and a really good chili crab sauce.
All right, Eunice, I think I've got my grocery shopping settled for this weekend. Well, that was food correspondent Eunice Quek. Now, if you are looking for new music to listen to this weekend, here's Correspondent Benson Ang with some ideas. Benson, tell us about the Taiwanese boy band, Wolves?
Yes, so Wolves is this newish boy band from Taiwan, which I think we should pay attention to because they have appeared on a lot of variety shows and social media recently. The band was formed in 2020 by 5 members, 4 Taiwanese and 1 Singaporean, and the various initials from their names come together to spell out Wolves. So the band has been around for a while, and finally in February this year, they released their first album in Mandarin also called Wolves. I like that the album has songs in many different genres. We're putting out the music video for the track Moon Landing now, and the lyrics are about overcoming obstacles, pursuing one's dreams, and landing on the moon. So in terms of presentation, the video seems to be in the style of K-pop. So it's very flashy, the camera is always moving, high energy, lots of cuts. This album shows the band is ready to take on many diverse challenges, and they have good chemistry, so I think they are definitely at least worth a listen.
Oh, thank you so much for your candor, Correspondent Benson Ang. Now, if you love the great outdoors, India's Himalayas are simply breathtaking. And the food isn't bad too. Check out our India Bureau Chief Nirmala Ganapathy's adventures for ST's new travel guide series, First Flight Out. Her video and story are both online at str.sg/live. What does the future hold for America? That is the main talking point in a new edition of Conversations on the Future, hosted by US Bureau Chief Nirmal Ghosh. Have a look.
Conversations on the Future is an attempt to rise above the noise of daily news and look at larger trends and ideas that we really should be focusing on and preparing for. I speak with Dr. Graham Allison, renowned political scientist, author of many books, and the founding dean of Harvard's Kennedy School. We discuss great power competition and, in particular, the future of the United States.
President Biden is one of his favorite lines that he often quotes is the warning from Lincoln, which is actually Lincoln borrowed from Scripture, which says, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." So the level of partisan division in the U.S. today is paralytic.
The full interview is on our YouTube channel, where you can also find more videos. Subscribe by hitting the red button below. I'm Haryanto Diman. See you tomorrow for more stories on The Big Story.